Welcome back. My name is Lauren Heistad, author to the book Homecoming. Working our way through this very thick book, which contains 3 books within it: Activating Your Soul Works, A Healing Journey; Evolving Your Soul Works, A Miraculous Journey; and Mastering Your Soul Works, A Oneness Journey. We're still back here on book number 1, which I wrote in 2012 and published January 2014. All compiled into one book, Homecoming. Okay? Thought I'd give you a little backgrounder there. Today we are reading chapter 15. It is called Think Responsibly. I would like to expand on the concept regarding our thoughts creating our reality. There's no one person living on this earth that does not have negative thoughts from time to time. Of course, right? We're all human. It's a natural part of our existence to have this shadow side. In fact, I believe our ego began the minute we separated from Source. This monumental day is perhaps symbolized in the story Adam and Eve, when mankind moved towards being individuals and less comprised of one glorified unit of spirit. Since that time, there has been an overriding balance existing in our world, depicted in the equation of positive and negative, yin and yang, darkness and light. The problem with our shadow side is that negativity hurts all involved. It does. The originator, those who are close to the person being negative, either by actual proximity or relation, and ultimately our entire world. In this, I'm not speaking of those who only exhibit radically negative behavior. We'll deal with them later. As this is actually more the exception than the norm. What I'm referring to is how often everyday people have negative thoughts and feelings, and how these internalized expressions can be silently lethal. I know this to be true. I can literally feel negativity, as so many sensitive people out there can. I have grown to recognize the presence of this force and understand its power to run havoc on our health, both physically and emotionally. That's pretty powerful stuff. Now, everyone has felt this truth to some extent. There is always an internal knowing when you walk into a room where a fight or argument has just taken place. The energy in the room will be dense and have a distinctive, unpleasant feeling. This energy can bring your spirits down on even the brightest of days. And for the sensitive people out there, it can even make you feel physically sick. I have personally witnessed and experienced this phenomenon on countless occasions. It's true. One particular situation involved my own health. I had been plagued with daily headaches my entire life. For years, I visited specialists, carefully monitored my diet, and actively avoided common triggers, trying to determine a cause to stop this relentless pounding. Many experience that for sure. Recently back in 2012, the headaches have lessened greatly. And actually, at this point in my life, they don't even exist. These changes began when I started working from home, actually. And what I found during this transition was astonishing. While in my own space on a regular basis, my headaches would literally vanish. However, if I had a personally bad day where my emotions were running wild, if someone negative would enter my space, or if I would venture out into a hectic public setting, you know the kind, my headaches would again ramp up until a full-blown headache was underway. At first, I attributed this phenomenon to stress, obviously, and my strong desire to open my SOULworks business. Clearly, I found it way more peaceful to be at home, working on my life's dreams, and my body was reciprocating in a positive fashion. Which it does, by the way. Which it does. However, despite the concentrated focus on my life's work, there were still days when my headaches would return. Now, with the increased alone time during this period, I was clearly able to see the connection between other people and my own state of health. The headaches would only start when I was in close proximity to someone who was depressed, angry, fearful, or going through a very rough spell in their life. And yes, this could include me. Without realizing it, these people and their energy were literally causing me pain. Their problems, frame of mind, and energy fields were clearly affecting my health. Now, we're all connected on a soul level, so it does not surprise me to realize the strong correlation between our individual thoughts and the profound effects our thoughts have on those around us. However, do not for 1 minute think we are just innocent victims of our circumstances or that everyone around you is the problem. Don't do that. Blame is not the answer. Blame is never the answer. I mean it. I feel like a mother there. I mean that. I do. Blame's not the answer. You must also take responsibility for your own thoughts. Take a good look at the energy you create. Is it always positive? Of course not. And I would never claim to always live in a positive state of mind. Not even close. However, I do strive to achieve this ultimate state of enlightenment. The first time I realized my own anger caused a ripple effect out into the world was experienced quite innocently with my daughter. She was around the age of 9 and having a wonderful day, playing and having fun. And my day was not quite as successful. I was having a miserable time working on a project I considered disastrous. I was mad, frustrated, and angry at the world. And as I watched my daughter having a wonderful time in her youthful, uncomplicated state, my anger only grew. It did. And although I did not verbalize my frustrations, inside I was fuming. It must be nice. It must be nice to have such a young and carefree life, I thought to myself, as I angrily continued on with my day. Then I started to notice my daughter's demeanor change. What started as a wonderful day of play quickly moved to sadness and gloom. Within an hour, she was laying on the couch complaining of being tired and not feeling good. Mad at this new development in my already miserable day, I crossly asked what had changed to make her feel so bad? What had changed? When she failed to provide an answer, I flippantly suggested she go to bed so I could move on with my own exasperated day. Parent of the year there, hey? Slowly, I began to realize the effects of my actions and began to question the connection between my raging temper and my daughter's rapid decline in enthusiasm. Had my anger caused her day to veer sideways too? Had my enraged mood, which was never even spoken out loud, but had my enraged mood made her sick? Upon this new line of thinking, I pulled myself together and tested my suspicions. Silently, I began to change my own attitude. I started to try to exude more positive energies instead of negative and anger. I began to smile, tried to enjoy the project I was working on, and projected a way more loving demeanor. And within minutes, only minutes, my daughter smiled with newfound energy. She confirmed feeling much better, and on that note, she jumped off and ran out to play. Just like that. The old adage is true. Likes attract likes. To expand on this truth, even in thought form, negative energy creates negative results, and positive energy, positive results. No matter what type of energy we are generating, it will always ripple out into the world and affect those around us. Now, I wish I could say most people focus on positive thoughts, but I've learned that's not usually the case. It's not. Even the most positive person on the outside stores a lot of negative energy inside. Sometimes this irritated energy is even audible, and I am able to hear glimpses of people's thoughts almost daily these days. The first time this occurred, though, I was both startled and perplexed. I was standing in a line waiting to pay for a jug of milk, actually, when a teenage girl walked by, and her lips didn't move a muscle, but I distinctly heard her demanding, "Get the hell out of my way, lady." God, I hate when people block the aisle. Shocked at her reaction to my seemingly harmless location in the queue, I looked around and discovered I was, in fact, blocking an aisle. She hadn't spoken a word, but her thoughts had been audible just the same. Similar experiences continued, and ironically, at one time, I believed I only had access to negative thoughts, which is perhaps why I always thought this was dark, because I only had access to negative, dark thoughts. After all, judgments, criticisms, and anger and disapproval are primarily the information I was receiving. Then the sad realization dawned on me. I don't have exclusive access to negative thoughts. People's thoughts in this world are more often than not exclusively negative. Listen, as we become more enlightened and back to our true identity of being one with Source, our ego will eventually be eliminated. Might take a while. In the meantime, the more enlightened we become, the more our shadow side will also move into survival mode in an effort to balance this earthly equation. Do not give in to this internal struggle. Now, there's many self-help advocates who speak to the importance and magnitude positive thinking has on your life. please heed this advice and begin to live in a more positive state of mind. Your health and the health of all those around you depends on it. Actively become aware of your thoughts and make a conscious effort to think responsibly. Acknowledge the strong feelings you may have towards a particular person or situation that are negative, but then strive to see the true reflection of light and spirit within each. Try it. In doing so, your own inner light will shine. Activating your soul works. Negativity breeds negativity. This is not a new concept, not even close. Society has discussed and to some point grasped this reality for aeons. Certainly in the workplace, this is a common realization. Once water cooler talk escalates to gossip and negativity, the entire atmosphere of the building will change. The more that people get involved, the harder it is to escape this attitude. Many workplaces strive to eliminate this type of behavior head on. They understand how negativity can be contagious and harmful to the environment. Now, more and more people have also started to become more conscious of how our negative behavior and thoughts help to shape our own reality. Thanks to the growing awareness and increased resources on the subject matter, people are starting to understand we create our existence and can manifest our deepest desires. However, I feel most people still do not entirely understand the full scope and effects of negativity. What is missing from the equation is how negativity, judgment, or ridicule towards yourself and others, even when only verbalized internally, has the power to affect those around us. Most people find it difficult to maintain a positive outlook all the time. Whether they're feeling down on themselves, a coworker, or someone else in the community, our minds tend to wander away from affirmative thoughts to more destructive zone of belittling and scorn. As society, we have lived this way for centuries, and change may not occur overnight. However, we can strive to change our ways and become a more effective influence on the world. We can strive to approach our world with more love, light, and understanding. Your move. Be alert. Pay attention to your thoughts and the effects they have on yourself and others. The next time you find yourself having a bad day, notice how your poor luck continues to snowball. Notice how your anger only adds to the problem and helps to create more difficulties. Start to also pay attention to the way your attitude affects those around you. The next time you come home or go to work in a super bad mood, notice the changes that occur to those who are within close proximity to you. Was everyone in a better mood before you arrived? Did your negative energy and thought forms bring the entire room down? Did it? Chances are it did. Accept this truth and make a commitment to yourself to change your outlook and create a more positive energy shift. Purposely intend to have a better outcome. Send additional light and love into the situation. Ask for help to ensure a positive outcome. Watch the positive changes that begin to occur in your life. Experiment. Take your positive energy out on the road. Notice how becoming outwardly more positive, smiling more, and keeping your thoughts pleasant affect even complete strangers. Without speaking one word, try to change the attitudes and outlooks of those around you. Also, observe your negative energy and the swath of destruction it can leave behind. Establish how both positive and negative attitudes are contagious, and notice how a positive outlook creates more positive results. The next time you recognize someone near you has a headache, a stomach ache, or is just feeling off, double check your energy vibe and ensure thought forms are as positive as possible. If your thoughts are negative, depressed, and moody in any way, accept your contribution to their current state and try to change your attitude. Observe as changes begin to occur right before your eyes. Try it. Expand your scope. Once you understand the power of positive thoughts, expand your repertoire. The more positive thoughts, words, and deeds you put out into the universe, the more positive results you will get in return. Give it a try. I dare you. I dare you. Provide an extra dose of kindness to a stranger. Pay a nice compliment to somebody. Remember, we're working on that. Become more accepting of those who are different than you. Become more accepting, regardless of race, sexual orientation, financial status, religion, or well-being. Take the time to put your good vibe on before entering someone else's environment, always ensuring you are, in fact, putting your best foot forward. Send in the light. There will no doubt be many situations you will encounter in life when those around you are suffering or life is just not going your way. Obviously. It is within those moments. It's within those moments we have the greatest potential to make an energetic shift and contribution to the world around us. Fact. Instead of sending hate vibes, worry, or judgment towards a situation, send in the light. Talk it out. Visually imagine surrounding the entire situation and all the people involved with universal energy. Do not doubt your role and abilities to change the outcome, even for 1 minute. There is nothing you will encounter while here on earth that a positive dose of love, light, and mutual respect will not help. Here's a few examples. Is your boss or your spouse's boss causing stress? Take the high road. Take the high road and send light and love to the situation. Surround the work environment, all co-workers, clients, and customers with good vibes, and trust it will work out for the best. Is your child being bullied at school? Don't do it. Don't send hatred toward the bully or worry towards your own child. Instead, energetically send both children love and light from the heavens. And your heart. Same thing. Ask the guides and angels of both children to help resolve the situation with grace and ease. Is someone in your life achieving more personal success than you are? That doesn't matter. Do not, I repeat, do not send resentment or jealous thoughts out into the world. Instead, acknowledge what you can learn from this individual's success and send blessings to you both. Wish them continued achievements and give a heartfelt thank you for all your own accomplishments, trusting in the divine order of all things. There's a thought. Trusting in the divine order of all things. is a loved one suffering from an illness or emotional trauma. Don't send them worry or pity. Even when it comes from the heart, worry is energetically negative. To worry is to not trust in the divine order of all things or their spirit. Take a more positive approach. Encompass the situation with positive thoughts. Visualize all things working out as per the divine plan and life lessons of all involved. Visualize the universal light providing positive reinforcements and ensuring a blessed outcome. Believe in the power of your thought forms and trust you are making a difference. Here's the most important one for this chapter. Give yourself a break. Not everyone is perfect all the time. Everyone will have a bad day from time to time, and our negative thoughts won't change overnight. If you notice your thoughts are negative, give yourself a pat on the back. Do it. Noticing your thoughts and your thought patterns and actively striving to change or understand them is a positive step in the right direction. At least you're becoming aware of your thoughts. So many people blindly move through life without even realizing the impact they are making on their world and those around them. Continue to monitor your thoughts throughout the day and observe what situations cause you or your anxiety to escalate. Actively strive to change your outlook and outcome. Do your best to make improvements on your mood and thoughts one day at a time. Just one day at a time. That's all you need to do. Okay? Thank you. I'll see you next time.